Okay, so if you like to follow me to prayers, so this booklet, the first verse 3 times repeating and then reciting and then continuously. So before the dedication, and then after the teaching and further to be complete the dedication for the dedication prayers. Again, Jinso, Yebe, Tona, Rola, Pension, Sardi, under Persian, Sardi, Chuda, Sony, Chona la Chancho Pardo Dane Chapsa Dagi Jinso Yebe Chona Rola Pension Sardi under Persian, Sardi Chuda Sony, Chona la Chancho Pardo Dane Chapsa Dagi Jinso Yebe Tona Yanabshan Sa Pema Kesar Dombo Yamse
choke ngudu ani pema joni asisanta Kornde Chamtrul Rinpoche Keji Jisan Danji Chenji Lobshe Sesu Guru Pema Sande Shewome Chuji Yangji Popjana Tusa Sarji Gunji Ngonhe Rasa Churgo Wasa Tonzampi Tsai Lama Namla So Ande Saji Puju Shushan Medon Jira Lim Nirdi Jemba Sanji Shande Mide Pua Rogo Namda Jala Shumbar Eda Rana Mandala Kamdara Anthayamu Semche Namje Sambanda Loya Chepja Cheta Checho Temo Tempa Chuji Kola Konde So Tamge Tuji Shajiri Sano Janji Medub de Honjamba Sejil Hambo Tawarjim Shanji Jarbu Shavla Kushan Sar Gumbolo Javayan Dewanda Tome Nyamsholan Chuji Da Chuchun Jahwa Sila Zamlin Jancho Namla Kushan Sar Zamlan Zibi Janjun Shunida Tuji Lonton Yambin Tamaya Natro Tambar Peter Chuji Kundi Shukur Dopin Honshin Chime Wuzar Shavla Kushan Sar Shivshakan Chindola Gypsy Chime Wuzar Yamcher Tuterdo Sarlon Chen Nam Kin Nam Jurb Jingme Limbi Shavla Kushan Sar Mari Sangin Chera Nyangla Sar Kunda Zambo Monlam Nabrajan Sipsi Jarin Tenlin Zinzab Mipam Jamsu Shavla Kushan Sar Pammi Tuksi Durjib Nunjumni Tripina Rolira Lambikar Matu Londarik Pi Hwajib Jingme Penso Shavla Kushan Sar Kamson Korwa No Tunum Jimbe Sabjelang Mayon Dentar Chinba Niluna Jertum Benamjoin Yeshi Wanchu Shavla Kushan Kunzandur Sim Garab Shirasan Pema Gara Jimban Yushunga Sosornim Natir Tunjersas Katir Lama Namla Kushan Kanda Chochu Dongunji Tena Desalumar Jura Kansata Under Tumbi Shuji Sherbe Simbrando Padeda Thamche Ndarshasi Namo Arya Tambal Haike Dan Ladan No Jinke Tum Dan Mi Ke Nam Dan Do Kunji Da Kejism Thamche Ke Da Chujan Tujur Chi. Okay, again we are going to prayer on English and the second page, the generation of Bodhicitta 3 times only. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all beings live in the great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that keep some close and other distant. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all beings live in the great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that keep some close and other distant. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all beings live in the great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that keep some close and other distant. It's 3 times? Yes. Okay. Okay. So, good evening. Welcome everybody for these lectures. Today I'm going talking. These topics, the view, the meditation, the conduct, and the result. So this topic we can divide into 2 sessions, means is 2 days, and this evening, today and tomorrow will be complete. So we're going to explanation and step, these 4 stages. So this topic I think is very important to understand for everybody. It doesn't matter you are traditional followers or non-traditional followers. I mean, you are, doesn't matter religious or non-religious. And particularly no matter more if you are Buddhist tradition followers or non-Buddhist tradition followers. The reason because everybody want to be experiencing happiness and enjoyment. Nobody want to be experiencing sufferings and unpleasant feelings. That is not only even human beings, but all the sentient beings. Same like us. What we want, they also too. What we doesn't want to experiencing, the other sentient beings also too. The reason because each sentient being has with mind or consciousness. As long as being with consciousness and the definitive, the characteristic of consciousness, as we say usually, as you know, clarity, awareness. Because the better power of clarity can experiencing any kind of the object of pleasant, an object of the reflection object of unpleasant, or the reflection object of neutral can arising clearly on the mind. So that is the point, the definition of clarity. But not only clarity, but we can also to aware very clearly which is as pleasant object, which is unpleasant object, and which is apparent reflection object of knowledge is as equanimity. So that is why we can feel sometimes experiencing pleasant feeling, sometimes we can experiencing unpleasant feeling, and sometimes on feeling is as equanimity feeling. That means is the sign, the definition of awareness is at the mind. The second aspect, characteristics of our mind is awareness. So together we can say clarity, awareness is as the characteristics or the definition of mind or consciousness. So each sentient beings rather doesn't matter having with the coarse level, the sensations or subtle level, but they can also want to be experiencing happiness, pleasant feeling, and nobody want to experiencing unpleasant feeling. That is the main reason, the main logic why we say equally each sentient beings same wish like us. So in this way, and especially in this human realm, the human realm meant is according to the Buddhist point of view, the sentient beings number is we cannot count, can be existent countlessly. Wherever is there is pervading endlessly of the space, and then can be there's existent boundlessly the world, the universe. As long as they are boundlessly pervading universe, that means is no matter with a form or without form, the sentient beings can existent. So the space having no end, that means is sentient beings also have no number. Means it's countless, the number. The countless sentient beings, invariably we can division into 6 kind of different realm beings, as you know probably already. Unfortunate 3 low realm beings are hell realm beings, hungry ghost realm beings, and animal realm beings. These are the 3 we say unfortunate, because unfortunately their previous misdeed karma or accumulated lots of non-merits, and above there wasn't know how to purifications, and by this leading and the born and the unfortunate lower realm, not only just born, but is unfortunately being who born in the hell realm and mainly suffering with heat and cold during hundreds years, thousands years, sometimes takes kalpas life. And being who unfortunately reborn in the hungry ghost realms, mainly they are suffering with the hungry and thirsty during hundreds lifetimes or years over and over. And being who unfortunately falling reborn in the animal realms, that we can directly, almost many animals, how they're going, we see, we can hear. They are mainly suffering with mental stupidity, blindness, mind, and they are suffering with to eating each other's, killing each other's, and especially many animals, they used by the force of humans, having no freedom themselves, they're suffering. So that's unfortunate lower realm beings, we say. And then other 3 upper fortune realm 3, that is, as you know, human realm beings, semi-god realm beings, or the anti-god realm beings, and the god realm beings. These are the 3 we say fortune upper realm, because during the past life, the previous many lifetimes, the over and over enough was accumulated merits, and on top there has enough aspiration dedicated for inspired to over and over reborn a higher fortune, and they dedicated to free from lower realms. And finally, when they completed the needed actual cause and the favorable conditions for reborn fortune realm, and that is why that's we calling fortune realm. But that not only just born in the higher fortune realm, but to compare unfortunate lower realm beings, and there they are more long life, more healthy life, and more peaceful life, and more intelligent life, and more wealth, and so on. So that we can means we can compare like the human beings, the situation into the animal realm beings, and then how it's different the situation. Then you can see who is fortune, who is unfortunate, the realm beings. So therefore we are lucky, we are really fortunately, because at the moment having freedom, reborn unfortunate three low realms completely, and the moment we are fortunately reborn on the higher, and not only in the higher upper realm, but especially according to the Buddhist point of view, among the 6 different kind of realms, the most one precious is at the human, especially within the 18 qualities, 8 freedoms and the 10 endowments. With these 18 qualities, the human being is the most of one the precious, hard to find, hard to recognize, hard to know how to use, but finally can fulfill as your wish for benefit for yourself, for other sentient beings, as you wish, want to benefit in this life, and for further life after of another life till enlightenment can be fulfilled. So therefore, that is, we say, more than precious, more than the human birth, the 18 qualities is more precious than wish fulfilling jewel. You know, wish fulfilling jewel hard to find, hard to recognize, hard to know how to use, but can fulfill only the temporary wish, but cannot fulfill for ultimate peace, and cannot bring the ultimate enlightenment mind by the wish fulfilling jewel. But this human mind or human body can will be carrying us into the final enlightenment state if you know how to use, the right way. So that is why we are really fortunate person. So anyway, everybody will looking, searching something day and night since when you grow up after mother's birth until now or till the death, But now the point is, what are we looking, what are we searching? Of course, everybody having many different views, many different goal, purpose, but is the essence is only one for everybody, as I mentioned to you, to find happiness and enjoyment, and to find the way how to far away from of the sufferings and the obstacles and the causes of suffering. That is very clear. Everybody same. But the active is different. The activity is different, or the method, the techniques is different for attainment happiness and for free of the sufferings. So therefore, is the Dharma talk something is also not something very special, means very different aim and the purpose. And purpose is same also, Dharma activity also for happiness, enjoyment, for free from the sufferings and the faults of samsara. But as a method, this is from Dharmic way, as we can say path of worldly to attainment happiness, and enter into the path of beyond worldly to achievement happiness, enjoyment. So actually most of around 80% the Dharma talk can be the path, sentient beings leading into the path of beyond worldly. It's a very special, and it's the very unsure possible path for liberation. Dharma talk is. The reason because Buddha Dharma is the created better of pure wisdom and great method of compassion. That is only the source. How comes this kind, the techniques or the teachings? Buddha himself, the 3 numberless eons before, was very, very ordinary person. And then beginning he generated mind of enlightenment, Bodhicitta. That means he promised to attainment state of omniscience mind for benefit other mother sentient beings only, without any hesitations by himself. So, and after he accumulated, after he created of this kind mind of enlightenment, and then during more than 3 numberless eons, he accumulated merits and accumulated wisdom for only benefit to mother sentient beings with the compassion and with the wisdom. And finally, and he completely achievement state his purpose of omniscience mind. And he completely to obscuration of delusion, karma, and the obscuration of to the omniscient. So therefore, is this kind of the holy being's heart is as completely full, pure, primordial wisdom, and completely full the width of great method, compassion. So therefore, the Buddha means is as the unity form. Buddha is as a united or unity form of wisdom and compassion. That is the point meaning Buddha. Buddha means is wisdom and compassion. Buddha is as the embodiment of wisdom and compassion. That is, So therefore, whether it doesn't matter what you calls to holy person, Arya being, noble being, supreme being, or spiritual being, or Buddha, or God, that doesn't matter. But is with the qualities of pure wisdom and pure compassion, and that is the holy person or holy teacher. So therefore, these kind of beings, when they taught us something, and that is unsure possible, the teachings path to the of liberation, they no more higher, there's the qualities, it's no possible. Can be equal, of course, many different traditions, but cannot be higher because that's the final, the wisdom and compassion. So, therefore, you can judge, you can check the Buddha Dharma, not only just respectfully to follow Buddha what says, the master what says, teacher what says only. Buddha himself, he says, I just quote one verse from Tibetan, that root text, Buddhism. That means is Buddha's teaching is you can judge, you should be, Buddha says, check, follow the valid cognitions, or follow the perfect logic and through the perfect reasoning, and you use your investigations, analyticals to analysis what he taught us. Is this really logical? It is really reasonable? Is it really that is unsure possible? The techniques to attainment, the ultimate peace, enjoyment or not? You should be check. You should be testing yourself by yourself. But that means you also need to follow perfect logic, perfect reasoning. And then finally, can arising inspired faith to this kind of teachings, and can arising we say the spring faith, or we can say other hand the confident faith or trusting faith. These are the three faith. Is not blindness faith, Totally is this kind of aspect, three different kind of faith is born from perfect reason. The wisdom mind comes from through the perfect reason and perfect logic. So, and then finally you found the right view is coming, So therefore, today we are talking about these 4 stages. Is also the main point is how we can attainment state, ultimate peace, enjoyment, and how could we can freedom from of the sufferings and the faults of samsara. And then I'm saying, first you need to find the right view, your mind, your wisdom mind, your intelligent mind, your analysis, your investigations to focus on the right view or right path. View means is the correct path, the point of path, it's perfect. You need to find, must be to find excellent path for attainment, your purpose. That is the view, So, because we're going today talking the view, meditation, conduct, and result. So we first now going a little bit more, going to explanation the views. Anybody having some questions, please keep on the notes, and then if there's some rest, extra times, if then we're going to question answers the end, okay? So anyway, so the view. So the view, and briefly I can say, as we can divide into there's 2 different kind of view. One is the pure the view of worldly, the path of worldly, and one is a view of according to the beyond worldly, or means Dharma view. There's two different views. And the worldly, again, I can divide the view of the worldly, the path of worldly. Again, we can divide into there's 2 difference. One is pure view, one is unpure view or wrong view. So that means is if unfortunately your mind is, or your wisdom is following extremes of a wrong view, or if you're holding to wrong view, and this view leading you, your action of body, speech, heart into the wrong path. If you following extremes of your activity in the wrong path, and this path will be bring wrong result, means is suffering, or obstacles, and the problems sooner or later will be bring, because was view wrong. Therefore your path wrong. Therefore the result will be wrong. Result is coming. This is a normal logic, as normal, as that's a wrong view. So, but nobody want to, of course, falling in the wrong view, nobody want to go into the wrong path, and nobody want to will be achievement state wrong result. Whether you are traditional or non-traditional, but still, as unfortunately happened, this kind of, because problems, the wisdom, problems that follow the wrong logic and wrong reasoning, because view must be comes from wisdom. But the wisdom also can be, one is pure wisdom, one is impure wisdom. So impure wisdom means it comes from through the wrong logic and wrong reasoning and wrong lineage. Unfortunately, sometimes wrong teachers also can be, And then we misunderstanding. We comes of the misconception mind, We holding belief that is perfect, authentic view, but not really, in fact, is authentic, it's wrong, but we apprehending to that is authentic view, because for the wrong logic, wrong reasoning. So this is the problem. So that is abandonment, one of the view. So now we're going to talking about the engagement, the perfect, the correct, authentic view of the worldly, even of worldly. I'm not talking at the moment, it's the beyond worldly, but even worldly, normal. We need to, at least, we need to start focus your mind on the perfect view of worldly, the path of worldly. Okay? So, the perfect view should be born from the perfect logic and from the perfect reasoning, and of course, one's excellent investigations, analyticals. You need to analysis, understanding. For example, view of the nature law, karma of cause and effect, for example. So how many people you can trust in 100% is true, the virtues or the positive actions will be performing, the result is a happiness and enjoyment, and how many you feel 100% is true, the negative actions or non-merits will be performing, the result also suffering and unpleasant feelings, But if you something feel, or if you can trust in something, if you can understand that's the true, there's something is nature is there with the law or rule. So this kind of nature rule, nature law, nobody can beyond to the nature. That's nature law. Even great method powerful of kings, queens, ministers, president or something is even they cannot beyond to the nature law of cause and effect. Because that's reality. If you can something like this, feeling, trusting, faith is coming to the natural law of cause and effect, that is perfect view of part of worldly, But unfortunately, not only doubt to the vow, doubt to the of natural law of cause and effect, but falling extremes, the view exactly that 100% they feel is that is not true. Natural law of cause and effect is not true. That says the happiness, enjoyment is just circumstantially appears there, just automatically arising there, just causelessly can be good if you are a lucky person. But if you are unlucky person, and then it's causelessly, automatically happened, the experiencing of sufferings, unpleasant feelings. That is only. If they 100% feel this is his or her something for a wrong logic and wrong reasoning, and then the big misunderstanding is coming. That's the wrong view, holding wrong view, Because then problems coming. Because they doesn't care the virtuous action. They doesn't care how to avoiding the negative actions. So So that person is usually, unfortunately, 80% around 90% he or her life is written very easily, the negative actions, and they have very, very little chance to come of the positive actions. So therefore, performing lots of obstacles and suffering on this life for future life, so on. So therefore, we at least and beginning we start to rely on the perfect the view of the worldly part of worldly, and the least I'm saying beginning. If someone can view the trusting faith from the through the perfect and correct logic to understand the natural law of cause and effect, and then I'm sure you can at least you can do benefit yourself. At least you can guarantee to be freedom. Falling extremes, the suffering, the falling extremes of the unfortunate three lower realms, hell realms, hungry god realms, animal realms. You will be the freedom next rebirth. That means you can leading yourself immediate next rebirth will be born higher fortune realm. Not only just born, but you will be having opportunity, chance, long life, healthy life, also more wealthy life or good life is coming. But that does not mean only this someone, if you focus the holding the red view of worldly path is leading only next rebirth benefit, but that's not only the case. Even in the moments in this life, if your body, the actions of your body, actions of your speech, actions of our heart, is if you can cultivate it on the positive, that means you are become very kindness person. Diligent person, something very, everybody loves you, like you, close to you, respect to you, honor you, bow you, worship you, support to you, friendly each others, because you are very kindness person, a positive person, that means you have chance more happy, enjoyment, more powerful, more confidence, more courage. You can do many things dependently. So, but unfortunately, if lack the pure view and the falling extremes wrong view, and then it's many obstacles, many problems, even this life. Finally, this person is become very loneliness, sadly. This happened very clear. This is because as why is because natural law or natural rule. So this is just invariably first I'm saying the view, because we're talking the view. View can be as worldly and beyond the part of the worldly, part of beyond worldly. So that just invariably I'm saying, and then the reincarnation also, of course, if you understand logically the natural law of cause and effect, and then so there's no problem to understand the reincarnation. According to the Buddhist philosophy point of view of our life is not only existent once time. Our life can existent since from beginningless until enlightenment or endlessly. That is why we say samsara, Sanskrit language. That means literally in Tibetan korwa. Kor means circulation, training, urban training. And that's we say English, training cyclic existent, So this circulation is sometimes born in the lower realm, sometimes born in the higher fortune realm. And sometimes born in the human or realm, like now we are born in the human realm. So that's the circulation. So that is the reincarnation. Everybody reincarnated, Not our life is only one time. But this not easy to understand how can be everybody reincarnated. It's big questions. So therefore you need to learning more, studying more, judge more, check more, or follow the perfect logic, use to perfect reasoning and the valid cognitives to understand. As finally you can clearly accept it's a true 100% you can feel that is only the possibilities, the reincarnated everybody. Because body and mind is not the same definition. Physically our body is born from parents, the lineage genes comes from, it's clear, it's continuity. So therefore when there comes the death, that terms also will be physically dissolving into the four element. That is the end of life. But mentally, not born from parent, therefore it will not be dissolving into the four element. Mentally.
So mind, the clarity awareness comes from to the similar cause of past, during the past of from the past clarity awareness. So therefore, is during the death also is finally the clarity awareness continuously, momentarily and to momentarily, and continuously will be existing, not exhaustion into the of four element. There's no possible. But anyway, this is another topic. We're not going to the talking about very important to found to the right view, to know reincarnation and nature law of karma, of course, effect. So anyway, this is the part of worldly. Even if you found the perfect view of part of worldly, and then you can understand this too. But you should be understand very important. So that's just enough on the worldly. And now we're going talking is in the view according to the beyond of worldly, the path of beyond worldly, means the Dharma, real, the actual way. So that view is actually, according to the Buddhist philosophy, we can division into there's four great classes or four schools, Buddhist philosophy: Vipassana school, Suttarantaka school, Chittamata school, and Madhyamika school. That's we say four great schools of Buddhist philosophical. So if you are Buddhist, follow the Buddhist philosophy schools, and then you must be. So in this way, maybe three yanas, we say the Shrakayana and the Partika Buddhayana and Bodhisattvayana. Or means is Hinayana and Mahayana. Also terms of the two, we can say also. But the Hirayana, solitary Yana, and Bodhisattva or the Mahayana. So these three vehicles, So in this way, each traditions, of course, must be start to rely on he or her view on the perfect, authentic path of the Dharma. Must be first to found, the fundamental, the view. If you're missing the perfect view very beginning, you cannot enter into the path of Dharma, the authentic Dharma. I mean, you cannot enter into of any of these three vehicles. Cannot. So, therefore, first important we to know what means the perfect view. The object of knowledge, or the phenomena, the object of our knowledge. We can division into there's two different categories or two different aspects. One is aspect of conventional truth, object of phenomena, knowledge, object of phenomena, and one is according to the of ultimate truth. There's two truth. We need to find the perfect view of these two truth: conventional truth view, pure view of conventionally, and to find the pure view of the ultimately, which must be start from these two truth. So that means is like the Vipassana school and Sutrataka, the sub-school of the Buddhism tradition philosophies, they believe every phenomena, the external, the mental object, or the tangible object, we can say also, or the solitude object are created by the of particles, or say partless particles collected. This is a similar, the scientific way, how the explanation of this universe or the galaxies or the world, how profound is they also believe is they created by of collection of the atoms, quarks or the cells, or we can say also, or the particles, So this is how they created at the very beginning. Similar of this sub-school of Buddhist philosophy, also they also believe the external, the tangible object are created by the of collection of collected of the particles, but there's a partless particle, that is the only causes of this world. So therefore, they understand the true truth, the view on the of true truth. Apparent phenomena are like the coarse level objects are existent, but not existent ultimately. But they focus view on the of existent of conventionally, imputedly existent. of like the horse, the cars, the rivers, the mountains, the moon, sun or stars, the galaxies, what apparent is the gross level, what we can see, what we can hear, what we can smell, what we can taste, what we can touching or contact, so on. Those objects are existent conventionally, but cannot be existent ultimately. That means is originated by the interdependently. All the discount gross level apparent are originated by the interdependently and also dependently. It's the same like scientific way, how their explanation is similar, very similar. The logic and the reason, everything's. So therefore the gross level not true. Then what is the nature, the ultimate truth of these phenomena? The view, the perfect view. How can we focus on the perfect view or the ultimate, the true nature of the phenomena? According to the subsequent Buddhist philosophy point of view, we can say is the two particles, the partyless particle and partyless moment. These two is the ultimate truth. The partyless particle is at ultimate subject, and the partyless moment is ultimate. The partyless particle is the ultimate object, and partyless moment is as the ultimate subject. Only these two can existent. This truth is existent according to the ultimately. Means that's true. Final truth. That is substantially existent, inherently existent. Even you follow the ultimate logic, you cannot destroy the partyless particle. Even you through your logic of the ultimately, but still you cannot destroy the partyless moment. These two, partyless particle and partyless moment, is at the fundamental of the universe. The two partyless particle is at the basics of external the vessels of world and internal essence of beings. They believe if there are no particles and there's no moment and there's no continuity of this world, and the beings cannot. So this is a science similar with the explanations. But that is a subsequent from Buddhist philosophy, not yet enough the pure the view. But what they says and the course level is perfect, excellent. But there's something left as a wrong view still, tiny aspect of wrong view. That means is because they believe the partyless particle and partyless moment is as inherently existent even according to the ultimate logic. That is wrong. Actually, there's small tiny wrong. This cannot be possible. So therefore, who can understand that is better of high school class, which means Chitamata school, and only the Mount school and Madhyamika school or Middle West school, the last two great school of Buddhist philosophy, they understand having some small tiny mistakes there. Other is perfect, but there's small wrong view is still there. So and therefore now finally, what is the excellent, the ultimate, the excellent view is apparent phenomena are like illusion. Illusorily appears there, not substantially apparent there. Means not substantially existent, not inherently existent, cannot. The apparent of object, subject, everything's what appears, what you see, what you hear, what you testing, or what you can think, everything's, including even the perception, are illusion, illusorily appears. So now the question is why we say everything can be illusion? Because every phenomena apparent are originated by the interdependently. That is the view, the reason, the logic. That is the perfect logic. Every phenomena are originated by the interdependently. Cannot be existent one even single atom independently. Independently, no possible. Independently cannot. If you can perceiving some an object of knowledge. And then if you research what is the nature of this object, how can existent this object, then you finally, if you are logicians, if you are clever, smart, and follow perfect logic, and finally you understand that one single atom also must be the interdependently existent can. But even one single atom cannot exist independently. So these, even scientists, when they're beginning, they believe atom can be existent inherently in the maybe 18th, 19th century and beginning of even 20. But then mid of 20 and the end of 20th century, the scientific also they understand more deeper, because the qualities of the, to many things, the technology to found the reality more and more. And then finally is the atom, what they was believe is truly existent inherently, cannot destroy anymore then. But that's also was the mistake something, because can destroy into proton, neutron, electron. And then even the proton, neutron, electron also is now finally can be only left some energy, right? And the energy also cannot be existent inherently or cannot exist independently. Very much the energies, the vibration or anywhere something, as I'm sure you more clear understand, but is this the interdependently. So that means like there's no something inherently existent, cannot exist itself independently. Something if they are function, and that must be can exist interdependently or dependently. So that is why these tales is illusion. That means illusion. Illusorily appears there. Because something is true, itself appears alone, and that's not illusion. Something cannot appear itself alone, and that is illusion. So therefore phenomena are finally they understand is illusion. That's a quantum physics. If you know the science of the quantum physics, I didn't learn, of course, but only here a little bit. But still, because we learned the philosophy of Buddhist, so Buddha's already taught this kind of even sub-school 2,600 years before. So not very interested. But there's a scientific way as they're very interested with. They found this view of the quantum physics. But that means is it's everything is apparent is like illusion, very interdependently. So this is the conventional truth. Conventional truth. So therefore, that truth is a logic. Follow the perfect comes from perfect logic. Comes from born from this view is a perfect reasoning, excellent reasoning, and one's excellent investigations, analytical to analysis to find this view. But still, that is conventional truth, yet not that is ultimate truth. So now, what is the ultimate truth of these phenomena? What do you think? We say apparent is like illusion, but this is a conventional truth. Still, it's not that ultimate truth. So now, the ultimate truth is emptiness. Emptiness is as the ultimate truth. Phenomena are one nature, one test, single test, non-dualistic object. The reality is emptiness. No questions. Why is the phenomena or nature is empty? The answer you must be go back again through the interdependent. That's the logic. And the Madhyamika teaching the philosophy, two explanations of emptiness, having many different logics, but the logic of a king is at the interdependent. If you understand phenomena originated be interdependently or dependently, then you found how to find the logic of king. True realization, true nature, emptiness, according to the ultimately, and to realization, the apparent according to the conventional illusion. Then there's no difficult to understand apparent illusion, therefore unborn nature, emptiness. Something if can existent, again we go back the interdependent. Something the opposite means independently existent, that not empty, cannot be empty, that nature is truly existent because independently existent itself. But we couldn't find among the object of knowledge any one single atom I mentioned you independently, not possible. So therefore, phenomena or nature is empty because phenomena are originated very interdependently. That's the reality. Does not mean emptiness is some creatures comes in this earth and then destroy of the phenomena and they become empty. No, that's not. Rather, Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, Gautama Buddha comes in this earth or not. But the reality is as unchangeable. That's the nature. But if Buddha or God comes to, the existent things and destroy into the space, that is not nature. This is created by the God or Buddhas, right? That is not nature. But we talking the nature, the reality. Whether it doesn't matter if there comes creators or not. Whether it doesn't matter comes Buddha or not. But the reality is as reality. So what is phenomena nature is, according to the ultimately we say unborn nature. So that is the perfect view, excellent view. If you can get the conviction and the certainty, the empty nature of phenomena, better your wisdom and better your logic. And then if you can get, that means is you get the faith, trusting faith, or you found the confident faith for recognition or for understanding emptiness. So these two truths, ultimate truth, conventional truth. Conventionally, you view like illusion. And you can view ultimately emptiness. So these two truths only different aspect, but not separately something is existent there. Both are just different aspect, but one nature. That's we say union. The conventional truth apparent, nature is empty, emptiness is apparent of the conventional truth. That means it's inseparability, one single nature, single test. That means union. So that is Buddha Shakyamuni. He better of the Heart Sutra, because Paranjana Paramita teaching, great perfection of wisdom teaching is as the how to explanations, the view, the fundamental of the conventional truth and ultimate truth, But in briefly, he told the Heart Sutra says, as you know, the one verse is we oftenly the quote many times say, form is as emptiness. And emptiness is as form. Emptiness is not existent other than the of form. Form is not existent other than the of emptiness. So that means is, because he said form is empty, because usually we believe form is not empty or non-empty or something. We believe form is existent, right? The aggregate of form means is the tangible object, the solitude object, like the moon, stars, or the galaxies, or whatever, the earth, the rock, mountains, rivers, cars, horses. Everything what we see, the solitude object are, we believe is existent, truly existent. And we believe unharmedly existent. We believe, we trust substantially existent. That is our normal, ordinary room perception. Our ordinary, the misunderstanding mind or misconception mind. So Buddha followed the perfect logic, perfect reasoning, what he understands the conventionally says that is not existent. So therefore, because nature is empty, then why apparent if it does not existent, then what is the form? Because we can experience things directly, but that's illusion. That's illusorily you can experience things. But does not mean it's truly existent. Like dream. In the dreaming, you can experience things, object, subject, and active itself, or three spheres. You can experience things, good or bad, everything's in the dream. But does not mean is that's substantially existent. Dream is as totally is dream, is illusion. But still you can experience things. So therefore, in the dream, in case, like example analogies, the appearance of the Buddha, for example, and then if they're going to explanation these two teaching, then he also says, oh, that what you experiencing, every phenomena are dream, that is illusion. Conventionally true, what you experiencing, that is imputedly, but ultimately that is not true, it's empty because dream. And moments are hard to believe because you yet not recognize dream as dream. You believe it's true that everything's. But Buddha understands that is dreaming. But when you wake up from this sleeping, and then you understand what Buddha says in the dream, oh, that was true. Exactly 100% was illusion, but I apprehended to that's true. That's my mistake. So therefore it was, whether I recognize or not dream as dream, but nature is born, unborn. Primordially unborn nature was my dream. It's the same. What appearance of the phenomena right now is those, the holy beings, the spiritual beings, scholar beings, learned beings, they can understand phenomena apparent is like illusion. Illusorily can appear. Therefore, nature is unborn, empty. So that is Buddha Shakyamuni says, form is emptiness. And then maybe you feel, okay, and then that means is everything is nothingness, like empty space. Maybe if you can view, but that is not perfect. Again, as you having something feel free, falling extremes your view of the existent, but you falling your views extremes of the another view, means it's a falling wrong view of the non-existent. So that is not correct. If completely emptiness means is nothingness, then how can it appears the illusion? Not possible. Like dream, the object of dream and the subject of dreaming does not mean nothingness. If nothingness, then it's nothing. You cannot experiencing nothing. It is nothingness. But not true. You can very clearly experiencing in your dream, right? So therefore it's different, makes sense, right? Nothingness and emptiness is different. So we're talking emptiness, we're not talking nothingness. Okay, it's different. So something else. That is why I can creating illusory of the pure appearances of nirvana, illusory can appear unpure appearance of samsara. Illusorily. But born is the unborn, the nature is unborn. Emptiness. That's the reality. So therefore, in the next sentence, next word Buddha says, from this I just quote one verse. The next line says emptiness is as form. First he says form is as empty, because we usually believe the form is true, truly existent. So he need to explain to us this, introduce to us, say form is empty. And then finally you think, oh, form is nothingness. And then Buddha said, no, that is not point, because emptiness is as form. If emptiness means nothingness, then Buddha cannot say nothingness is as form. That's a contradiction. Cannot say. But he says emptiness is as form, but that's not contradictory. Does not contradict. Then what is that? If that is true truth, conventionally appears like illusion. Illusorily can appear the conventional truth. And then nature is emptiness, that's ultimate truth. Then how can be this two truth is one nature? Because then further Buddha says, emptiness is us, and emptiness is not existent another than the of a form. Form is cannot existent another than the of an emptiness. Means is equalate. Form and emptiness is as equal nature. Equal nature. That means union. Union means is equal. Only different aspect when going to explanations. That's the reality. So that is a perfect view, authentic view, correct view. So why we say that is perfect view? Because if you follow perfect logic, perfect reasoning, you cannot find more than this truth. That is the finality, the true nature of ultimate truth, and that is the fundamental true nature of conventional truth, the true truth. So there's no more than, so that's final. Because if you can find this perfect view, and then you can do meditation, the perfect, you can enter into the path of perfect, because your view is perfect. So this view leading you into the perfect path. Path become perfect. That means the meditation become perfect. We're talking view and meditation. And your meditation will be perfect. Then what means is meditation. Meditation can be many way. We can say practice or training, mind training, or practice, or to be habituated, to be familiarity, or to become familiarity or familiarization, so on. Many things we can say. That is meditation. Because you already found the conviction, the certainty, point meaning of conventional illusion and ultimate emptiness. But we haven't yet habituated this view, haven't yet familiarity, this conviction, this certainty, because very newly born, this perfect view, some logic, some reason, or some of your excellent investigation, or some of the authentic teachings, and then you understanding, but very newly understanding, right? So therefore, easy can forgetting, easy lost the energy, what you understanding, So I have the moments is not enough the power for antidote to avoiding of the self-grasping, self-cherishing, or antidote to the ignorant, so on, not enough. So the wisdom is the perfect view of wisdom is the antidote of ignorance. Ignorance means is misunderstanding, misconception. Misunderstanding is at the root of delusion. The delusion can be the root of contaminated action, or karma we say. Also karma action is the same meaning. And then contaminated action, if we accumulated contaminated actions over and over, that could be in direct causes for suffering of samsara, happened problem. So therefore, somebody want to be freedom from any kind of suffering of samsara, we must try to be free about any kind of contaminated actions or karma. We need to change. If someone you agree to change your contaminated action, and then we need to change our delusion, the afflictive emotion mind, we must need to avoid the delusions. But not easy. How can we could control our delusion, afflictive emotion? The delusion, the disturbing emotion mind is very much related or dependent to the wrong view, holding the wrong view. Or means is the ignorant, depend to the ignorance or the misunderstanding, misconception mind. That means is, we just and briefly today mentioned to you, maybe most of you already know the emptiness. So the reality, in fact, nature phenomena, apparent conventionally illusion, and ultimately emptiness. That is the true nature. But 80%, 99% of all normal people, they are apprehending to truly existent of self, of person, and apprehending to truly existent of the phenomena inherently. That is a wrong perception. That means it's misconception. That is ignorant. But now what problem? Then I mention you, if they are ignorant, and that's delusion. If they are delusion, and then it's a karma. It then created contaminated karma. Then it's suffering is there. The Dharmakirti, Indian very scholar master, and the Chantakirti, very scholar Madhyamika teacher from Nalanda school in India, says, "Tangpo ngaji dala jenjin, dagan de jingula chachi, zoshin shintan dola zoshin shintan. Rawama ba dola ningje kyo kante landus." Chantakirti. And Dharmakirti also says, But anyway, this is just Tibetan. This maybe doesn't work for you, but however, that is just the proofs. The proofs from those master what says, very logical, very reasonable, they says. So all the problems, sufferings, the faults, and the suffering of samsara is created from the self-grasping, the ego clinging oneself first, and clinging to others. And between these two dualistic grasping mind, performing attachment, negative emotion, and aversionment, anger, and ignorant, the three poisons. So these three poison is at the root of fundamental of delusion, and will be the sufferings coming, the problems, and performing also negative actions, killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, slander, the harsh word, the chatters, and the covetousness, holding wrong views, and the harmful thought. All these 10 negative actions actually is very much related to the of delusion. Delusions related to the of the ignorant mind. Ignorant mind is the misconception, the self-grasping. If there's no self and no problem, but we open handing to self and then problem everywhere is the problem. That's very clear, very logical, it's true. But if the self is inherently existent, then there's no choice. Have to problem. But that's not true, but we misunderstanding. So therefore have hope. Everybody can be understood. Like you are suffering, worry, panics, fears, and fearfully and foolishly and falling under your dream. That's not true, but as long as you believe true, then there's problem. But it can be you wake up from dream. Can be you recognize dream as dream. That means you will be relaxation. Similar. That's how we are foolishly, wandering into samsara over and over with the ignorant. So we need to understand the reality. Focus on this view, perfect. So, if later understanding, you have later chance, relaxation. More understanding, more relaxation feeling coming. Completely understand, completely you will be relaxation. So therefore, first we need to understand the right view. Not enough only understand, then we need to be the wisdom understanding from hearing wisdom, this kind of view. But hearing wisdom is not your wisdom actually. Hearing wisdom is you just depend to others, teachers talk or something is, the logician's speech, and then you understand, or something is follow. Hearing, studying, like learning. So that wisdom, very beginning we need to collect a hearing wisdom of this kind of view. But that's not your wisdom only. But then is further you need to collect a wisdom of contemplation wisdom, or the wisdom of reflection of the word, what you hear. And then if you found the certainty point, meaning the conviction of the emptiness, by these two wisdom, hearing and through the of contemplation wisdom, and that wisdom is your wisdom. That's one's own wisdom, born from your heart. The certainty, the convictions comes from your wisdom. But also is very much supported by the hearing wisdom. These two wisdom. That means is you can understand 100% you feel what it says, like we're talking now, is the truth, true truth, conventional, ultimate truth. That is a perfect view. You can get the inspired faith coming, a spring faith to this emptiness and illusion, and also trusting faith or the confident faith can born from this logic and reason finally. Then that is enough only? No. Then you need to collect the third wisdom of the emptiness, which means wisdom of meditation wisdom. That means is we today going view and the meditation. If there's no view, there's no possible is perfect meditation. If you doesn't have any idea of view, then what do? Meditate. It's blindness, totally. But I'm not talking normal meditation. Normal just silent and just sitting quietly and non-thought, don't thinking any about, just sitting comfortable feeling. That is our normal, very, very oftenly what we do in meditation. But we're not talking this kind. the meditation. We're talking the real, the authentic, perfect of the view meditation. So, therefore, we need to collect the wisdom of meditation, this certainty and the point of emptiness. So, and that means, I mentioned you, meditation means is to be familiarity, to be habituated about this view, not only understanding. And then gradually, if you training your mind and practice, meditate, and cultivating all this view and walking time, sleeping time, eating time, on your, any time, driving time, but careful, not extent, okay, to be. But there's no problem if you can focus on the view, and illusorily you can driving very nicely, Illusorily you can eat nicely. Actually, like in the dream, can. So, however, you found the right view to be. So, anyway, and then it's become more and more your experiencing clear and clear and clear. Progress your view, the clarify. It's become more and more. That means is to be habituated. Better power, wisdom of meditation comes. So we need to collection. But still, that does not mean is you will be completely freedom. All of the delusions, contaminated karmas, and you will be just completely all the sufferings free at the moments. Not that is. But then what happened at the end? When you will be experiencing, but when you will be to realization, true nature, the selflessness of person and selflessness of phenomena, then you will be, of course, completely freedom of suffering. So, but anyway, if you later can experience things, you have later chance, as the free from suffering and more happy, more enjoy, more relaxation. If more you experience things about this view, and you have more relaxation, more free from suffering. Completely you can experience things, and then completely you will be free of the suffering. So that is just means is today the view is as very interdependent. That's the Buddhist philosophy, very logical. And then your meditation must be this view become familiarity. But one thing is important, your meditation, do not forget compassion. Meditation, compassion, and loving kindness. Compassion can be essence of emptiness. We say, that means is the emptiness is must be the essence of emptiness must be within of the compassion. The excellent compassion, the perfect great method of compassion is as born from realization, true nature, emptiness of person and emptiness of phenomena. The reason, because if you found the perfect view, then you understand the other sentient beings, how they're wandering in the samsara foolishly. Therefore, you can see everybody have the potential power to realization, true nature, because each sentient being's nature is pure, wisdom and compassion. But circumstantially apparent of the delusions and karma obscured to the nature. But that is not permanent. That is not reality. So obscuration can change. So therefore you strong wish attitude to benefit, want to benefit to other sentient beings. Even there's no requirement, but you want to benefit to them. Like some blind person is around the solitude place, danger road, to next step as a falling, the step mountain something, and the no need to request to you, lead me to the right place, but you see two eyes clearly, then you want to voluntarily to go, this person to leading into the right path. That's naturally you feel. Something like this, you can get wisdom, is born from the authentic logic, and then you want to very much strong desire, attitude to benefit to other sentient beings, just voluntarily, you want. That is the real bodhicitta. Real enlightenment mind is born from the recognition, the emptiness or understanding of emptiness. So that is why the great method of compassion is as the essence of emptiness, the recognition of emptiness. So therefore your meditation is, during the path of your meditation, important, no missing, do not missing one of these two, wisdom and the compassion. Better wisdom to realization, true nature, the ultimate truth is emptiness, and better your authentic wisdom to understand the nature of the phenomenon, the apparent nature is like illusion. Illusion, the conventional truth, nature is illusion. These two, by your wisdom mind. And therefore, illusorily, you should be to benefit other sentient beings. Illusorily, you can collection merits. Illusorily, you can do purifications. Illusorily, you can do meditation. Illusorily, you can share your activity from physically, verbally, mentally to benefit sentient beings. That means yourself can be free from attachment, aversion mind. But still you can function to attitude benefit other sentient beings, like magicians. Magicians, they can showing us enjoyment things, but magician himself, he know does magic. But still it's work, does work. Can benefit. Similar as phenomena are like magic, but is yet not understand, then they are wandering in the samsara problem. In the dream, if as much you believe dream is true inherently, and then for example you are burning in the fire in the dream, it's suffering, very painful. There's no difference at the daytime you burning and the net in the dream is no difference. Maybe you say, what is no different? One is dream, one is real. But is in the moments when the existence of your experiencings at the moment, that time's no different. Only when you wake up of this dream, that is very different, Or when you recognize dream as dream, and then it's different, the changes. Otherwise, it's not. If you, as long as believe the fire of the dream is truly existent inherently, and your body physically and burning in the fire truly existent, the active of the burn is truly existent, then same at the daytime. You burning in the fire or net in the dream in the burning, no different. Painful, suffering, very fearful, fearfulness. It's clear, isn't it? Is it true? So therefore, no questions. How can change of this suffering in the dream? Only two options, or possibly three options. The best, completely to wake up from the sleep, but not easy. You have no free at the moments. And the second best is try to recognize dream as dream. That's the second. To be free from this burning fire burning to you. And that's not easy also, even to recognize dream as dream, not easy, right? So then the third options to change your dream. Slowly is it to change or transform it into another dream. That is. Otherwise, it's not possible to stop the suffering. So that just analogies, example, and similarly at the normal or life. Also, it's the three options. The best, completely awake from the sleeping ignorant. Completely, But that is hard at the moment. So therefore, is the second best is try to recognize what we're talking now. Phenomena apparent is illusion. Nature, unborn nature of emptiness. To be experiencing better meditation. That is. If cannot, this also, because you say, oh, that's complicated, the philosophy talking about emptiness, that's not easy for me, headache, okay, then don't worry, other way we go. Let's slowly change your negative actions, your negative emotions into positive emotion, and bring the positive emotion like loving kindness, compassion, empathy mind, sympathy mind, many nice things we can talk in the simple word, and then you can understand, easily can accept, oh, that is nice, isn't it? That means slowly change, but takes long. The destination is very far to attainment final purpose, because the techniques not yet quite good enough, but moments that is our capacity. So three options, right? So anyway, that is the meditation and the view and meditation, and briefly today we stop here. So anybody, if you have any questions, we're going to question answers, and then there will be the rest. The conduct and the result we will be will be finished tomorrow, the last session. But these are the four is of course very much related each other or dependent to each others. First stage you a little bit feel some get understanding, and the next stage is more clear. And next stage, if you understand and stage, this means the first stage also, they have related, So anyway, so now we're going to some question answers. Anybody, if you have any questions. Yes, please.
I have a question about meditation and emptiness and the realization. Buddha meditated under the Buddha tree for finally 40-something days and become enlightened, right? So that makes me logically to say that we can also use a meditation to, like you said, meditate the emptiness eventually to realize. So, and also on the other hand, when you become Buddha or find the Buddha nature, that means you find your clear knowing mind. That means most subtle, the consciousness. So given all these, can I conclude that we can use meditation eventually to access the most subtle consciousness?
Rather, doesn't matter subtle consciousness or gross level consciousness. We just mentioned previously today, phenomena are nature unbound emptiness, and phenomena nature doesn't matter the coarse level or subtle level apparent is illusion, illusorily. This is as we must be to know. There's no specific. If you understand one single nature is clearly emptiness and apparent illusion, that means then you can providing this view for everything. But if you not understand one of the single things, nature is empty or the illusory, and that means you cannot understand of phenomena nature and the apparent of illusions. So that means because nature is one. Phenomena or nature is emptiness means emptiness is one-pointed test or single test. There's no difference. Your nature emptiness and my nature emptiness, no different test. If when you understand your nature is emptiness, that means 100% sure you can judge that is my nature is also is the another nature is also is empty. That is, because the logic is the same. So the reason comes from the bone the same. The investigation, analytical same. Only difference, the object is you is not me, and my I is not you. So the me is not you. That is only different. So like when you cutting the bamboo tree, if new totally today is the first time on your life is you see the bamboo forest. Oh, interest, it's very straight and the many joints as a grand nest, but no branches so much, but tiny things. I never seen this. Then maybe you feel how is inside. This is very hard, completely the essence, then if you cut, see in there, there's a hollow, right? Hollow. Okay, this bamboo this tree is with hollow. And then the other one also same or not, still you have doubt, because, and then you cut another one, also hollow. Okay, then third, fourth, fifth, 100 times to cut, go different place, but everything's hollow. And then you can decide it. Say, this kind of family, the trees, this kind of trees is sure each trees have hollow, But you don't need to understand each with the hole or not is to cut because you cannot end. The bamboo tree you cannot finish. Therefore as you never know is it really whole is the same or not, But we can decide it. This kind of family, same families can be whole. Similar, that means is once or the things of one nature understand, but this logic, the emptiness, that is you can share to all the phenomena, the nature is as empty. But still is happened. In the according Buddhist philosophy, like Hinayana, the Hinayana traditions, solitary, the first two class, Vipassika school and Suttarantaka school, they understand the gross level of phenomena are existent only conventionally, but not ultimately. I mentioned you before. Their ultimate truth only partyless particle and partyless moment is true. Inherently existent. That means they doesn't understand particles emptiness, and the moment is nature is emptiness. They doesn't understand. This is for example, that what I'm saying now is in these countries happened sometimes because depended to the teacher, depended to the traditions. depend the logic and depend of the one's own the wisdom, in the level of the wisdom, the chef faculty or not. So this depend, as sometimes it can be. But as generally, if you have chance to listen, like Mahayana tradition and Mahayana teacher, and the logic use this Madhyamika logic, and then if you understand once of nature is empty, apparent is illusion, then these can you pervading all phenomena are same, nature empty and apparent of the illusion. So you don't need to check every phenomena, no possible. If you necessary to understand each nature is to check everything, and there's no end, because the object of knowledge is no end. So therefore you will never attainment omniscience mind, no possible. But you don't need, right? So therefore, Buddha, when achievement state omniscience means is he realization true nature, selflessness of person, and person meant not himself alone, of course. That means the phenomenon, all the persons, beings. And that means is at the same time he realization, selflessness of phenomena, every nature. By this wisdom, that is Buddha enlightenment. But Buddha's meditations, that terms is he already, what you says, the 49 days, that is means is Buddha already, that terms achievement, the Buddhahood. But before of this achievement state, he did very hardships for even in this Gautama Buddha, the 6 years, he hardships with Naranjana river, he said there meditate. And then finally he enlightenment Buddhahood. And then he concentration on focus, Igupo meditation concentration 49 days. But that means that times he already achievement omniscience mind. But just he focus on this recognition, this realization. Because was he worry how to explain this realization to other beings? He accumulated completely wisdom and merits more than 3 numberless eons. Not easy. So how to explain? Maybe, he was worried about. But and then start to training the will of Dharma. But first he studied the Four Noble Truths. It's a little bit more. But Four Noble Truths is the fundamental of the coming Buddhas further, or the Sutra and Tantra. But still it's a little bit more easy. And then step and step more deeper and deeper and deeper. And the second training well of Dharma is the paramita, paranjana. We're talking now a little bit the emptiness. And the worship, the peak of mountain, Rajagar, he mainly taught this, very detailment, the teachings, emptiness, paranjana, paramita, as 100,000 verses to explanation, the paranjana, paramita, as a boom, shershen boom. And then it's a little bit brief, there's a nitra, there's 20,000 verses to explain the paranjana, paramita, emptiness. And this make more, as further, is a little bit summarized and brief, is there's Yatomba, as there's 8,000, yes, 8,000 verses. And these make more summarized or more and brief, is there's maybe is can be like the Heart Sutra or so on. So anyway, this is the second training well of Dharma. That is the explanations, emptiness, more deeper, more vast, more extensive than the beginning is just Four Noble Truths, generally talking to the common teachings. And then is that talking about this is for Mahayana. First, it's the Four Noble Truths is both for Mahayana and Hinayana, it doesn't matter. And then it's the second training way of Dharma is for Mahayana way, emptiness for phenomena. Not only emptiness of person, but even phenomena. And then the third training way of Dharma is main explanations from Sutra way is the Buddha nature. Tathagata explanations, and then some extras of the Tantra, common Tantra teachings, and then the high score Tantra, so on. So this all is the step and step and step and step to leading to understand more deeper and deeper. But anyway, rather doesn't matter, you listening about Sutra on Tantra, but is the main logic is, as we're talking today, is unborn nature phenomena, and apparent is an illusion, because originated phenomena are very interdependently. Nagarjuna says, so there's no existent without interdependently. Therefore, there's no existent without emptiness of phenomena. That's very logical, actually. So anybody have another questions? Yes, please.
Yeah. So though we are at the beginning of our, my understanding of meditation, when we say emptiness, so does that mean emptiness from a thought perspective or from a mental perspective?
Sorry.
Emptiness.
Emptiness. Yes.
Thought or a mental perspective. From a thought or a mental perspective.
Oh, this is a little bit complicated, because it depends the meditator, because you depend your level of the attitude, the level. If very beginning, just meditate from the hearing wisdom of emptiness, or the contemplating wisdom, the meditation with this kind of, that times, of course, with the thought, with ordinary people's, very much is with the thought of percept. We are ordinary, But still we need to try, because meditation can be divided into two stages. One is equipoise meditative concentration, one is post meditation. So whether you are high level realization or not yet, but try during the equipoise meditation concentrations as much you can non-thought or non-conceptuality, without any perception, without any thought, without any elaborations, mind, or without any extremes of the view. Just keep what you understand the generality point, meaning of the emptiness. Because the object itself is, we can say, what is the characteristics of the true nature of phenomena. It's difficult to explanation the emptiness, nature emptiness. The object, we can say, 5 different kind of aspects could be maybe one characteristics, the nature of emptiness. That means is the object of empty nature is as the meditation object of emptiness is, we say, unexpedient object. Means is you cannot thought, you cannot think. It's beyond of perception, beyond ordinary the recognition or so on. That means it's unexpedient, unexpedient object. That's one. And the another aspect of the characteristic true nature, we say non-dual object of non-dualistic, non-dual, non-dual. Because ordinary peoples are always apprehending to something dualistic, dualistic, two dualistic mind. That's ordinary people can perceiving object and be the subject. But this emptiness is beyond ordinary perception itself, is because free from the 4 extremes of the view, free from falling 4 extremes. So therefore, that's a non-dual object. That is the aspect, the characteristics of the reality. Emptiness is a non-dual object. And the third aspect, the characteristics of this empty nature, is, we say, not an object of logicians. We can say not none, or maybe it's not an object of logicians. Cannot be an object of logicians. Even you are logicians. Even I'm very logicians. Logical person, very intelligent, very smart. But still, if you use only this, your smart mind, you cannot meditate this reality. It's because this reality is an object of beyond logicians. But still we need to use our logician, the mind, because to understanding from hearing wisdom, contemplation wisdom, and generality meditations. But still, that's not reality. Yet not achievement reality. And the fourth aspect of the characteristics of the true nature of phenomena, we say, single test, or one-pointedness test, or single test. There's no 2 test or double test, something, There's no test of subject, object, and testing of actives. These are ordinary people's testing. But this is extraordinary testing. So therefore, as we say, this is the one test. Both of subject, object, and active itself are one test. Or we can say one single test of phenomena. I mentioned you before, the emptiness is in one nature of phenomena as one single test. And the last one, the fifth aspect of the characteristics, true nature of phenomena, how you can, your view to focus on the true nature. The fifth one, signlessness. The true nature of phenomena are signlessness. No sign. Okay, signlessness. There you cannot analogies, you cannot examples, or you can something, because signlessness. There's no symbolic, without symbolic, the true nature cannot. But still we used like sky-like, we can say space-like, we can say Dharma sphere. But that is just, but actually itself is a signlessness nature. So these 5 different kind of aspects of the one nature characteristics. And then you little bit can generally do, something the true nature. So in this view, if you found the conviction, certainty born in your heart, and then during the equipoise meditation times, if you one-pointedly your mind focus on this object and the view, and there's no thought, no non-conceptuality mind. So therefore, emptiness meditation, we mentioned before, there's Buddha's Heart Sutra, 4 stages, we mentioned before, step and step. Because first the form is emptiness. Because usually many people following the views, extremes of existent. But as nature is non-existent. And then if you thinking nothingness, then following your views, extremes of a non-existent. And then this is also wrong. Then if you focus on the both existent, that's also wrong. Your views following extremes of both existent. And then you're thinking, okay, if even not existent, not non-existent, not both existent, then must be neither nor non-existent. That is you following your views, the 4th extremes. Still wrong. So know what is correct. Of the Madhyamika, of the perfect Paranjana Paramita wisdom, true realization, the great perfection, wisdom mother, means the true nature of phenomena, during the equipoise meditation, concentration, how you focus, what kind of object. Of course, objectless usually, but we can say your view, the authentic, the perfect view is as not falling extremes of existent, not existent, not non-existent, not both existent, and not neither nor non-existent. Okay, not neither nor non-existent. That is the reality view. So almost then you cannot thinkable, is unthinkable, right? Unthinkable. How can I focus on this? It's true because we are ordinary. But then ordinary cannot be enlightenment. Is it the case? No. Ordinary can be enlightenment. Ordinary become into extraordinary. Because the ordinary is a wrong perception slowly can change into extraordinary pure perception. That is enlightenment. Is coming. But this kind of we will talk. Enlightenment is tomorrow the result, according to the result. In that terms we will talk. Enlightenment, comes from. So anyway, something. Yeah, anybody have any question? Yes.
I just thought it was very funny. You said enlightenment is tomorrow. This was so beautiful statement. It was no question. It was just I heard it and it was.
Okay, for you maybe funny, but for me not funny, because my topic is I mentioned you already, the view, the meditation, the contact, the result. That is my 2 days subject. Today I'm only mainly to talk about the view and about the meditation. And tomorrow I will tomorrow I talking more detailment about the conduct and the result. So enlightenment is as the result. So therefore I'm not going detail today, talk about enlightenment. Will be coming tomorrow. So therefore not funny. Okay? Okay, anyway, I'm kidding. So anybody have any other questions?
Can I ask
Yes.
the second one? You have these 2 views. One is the worldly view, which is solid something. It could be that they fall into 2 wrong end view. One is solid, other is nihilism. So I read about this middle way. Is that coming because that if you can in relation to emptiness and this middle way, how that fits?
Middle way meant is if your view fallings of the extremes of existent is the wrong, and then you following your views extremes of non-existent wrong, and then what is truth is what we can say use middle way. That means is the conventional appearance of illusory, the phenomena illusory, but the interdependently, but nature unborn. But if your view following extremes of apparent only of the conventional, and that is not the ultimate truth. And then if you following extremes view only emptiness alone without appearance of the illusion, and that also not that is Madhyamika teaching. Okay, but that's one step of Madhyamika teaching, but not final. So then what is a final perfect view is as the middle way. So middle way means is not following extremes of the conventional truth and not following the ultimate. So not following extremes of the existent and not following extremes of non-existent, and the middle. Then you feel middle means is maybe 3 lines. Can you feel, okay, not go this way, you must be going center way. If you're thinking, that also still not perfect. But we used this word as a middle way. So, and the sutra text, Buddha says, yoji shawanan tashik, meji shawanan tashik. That means is if you thinking about phenomena is existent, that is one extremes. If you focus on the following extremes of a non-existent phenomena, that is also one existent. And then is you focus on the middle, where that is the true nature, but what is middle way, or the intermediate state way. That means is, I mentioned you before the 5 characteristics. Just previously I mentioned you 5 aspect, different characteristics of the true nature, right? An experienced object, unexperienced object, and the non-dual object, and the not being cannot being the logicians object, and the one test object and signlessness object. That is point meaning middle way. That is middle way view of middle way. That is the intermediate state view. Otherwise, if you thinking the middle means is a center something, that is all again. I can say you are falling extremes or center, center view. That's also no. If you found the center, then must be the two set existent. It makes sense? Because how can you say I'm go to in center? That means there's left and the right. There's two. So this is wrong. Because this two side is not existent. How can you find the center? No possible. Okay, that means that is real emptiness. Is the beyond ordinary people's perception. But there's no other word that we used. Say center way. Okay, middle way. All right, so then anybody have more questions? Not? Okay, good. So then we're going to dedication prayers further from this booklet. Thamche sipanye thone anyipi andana phanshe sha sherga ananchi palno chubai sebe ansole androa dovar sho andeda tuson underwaye gerza chernye sangbayago majur semche thamche la sarje thobi jurgo Jamper power chetar kemba no
kundu sambo teya devshende Tedang Guanji Jisan Dalo Gewan Dedang Tamche Ramde Dusa Shambe Jarwa Antamche Anjing Kanglai Chode Ngamba Dagyan Geve Zawa Andigunya Zambo Shoshe Rabde Kunzan Dorje Chanche Manche Ni Trenche Save Lama Yanche Anji Drove Antonde Mono Kandampa Teda Tamche Dajan Drepa Shewa Kundu Yanda Lama Dharmic Chuji Perla Longjo Sada Lamje Ayonde Ramzoni Dorje Changa Kumbha Yanirto All right, so that's all today. So thank you very much for joining these lectures, and hope again tomorrow one more times, and enjoy your maybe some if we have suffer. I think some anyway. Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Some of you will have time, then you can you can join our suffer. All right. Thank you.
Do you have to have your supper here?